got Callie here in the background. She's going to be joining me and using her as a demo of some things to do and not to do. And so that will be really, really helpful for you. Now, I will say this, as we get into all of this, if you want deeper training, if you want a checklist for these things, those are things that our Streamer Accelerator members actually get access to. Extra tidbits to help you put all of this training and teaching into practice. You can get access to that right here at livestreamingpros.com/studio. And I would love, love, love to see you there. All right, so let's talk about the before. So before you ever book an interview, I want you to do one thing. Verify their internet speed. This is super important, right? So if they have very little internet speed, upload speed and download speed, then that's going to not produce a great interview. It's going to be very choppy, out of sync audio potentially. It will not be a great experience. So what I want you to do is make sure that you check their internet before you book them, or while you're booking them, make sure that that's a question that you ask. How much speed do they need? Well, we prefer 10 megabits per second upload speed, but I would say 5 would be the bare minimum. If they have a less than 5 megabits per second upload speed, you do not want to do the interview. Make it a recorded video if you have to, or wait until they get better internet, or whatever you have to do, but that is not something that's going to benefit you to book. So 5 megabits per second upload speed at the bare minimum. I would definitely prefer more on the 10 side if you can. So next thing is verify their camera. Look, what camera do they have? What mic do they have? Do they have a USB mic and USB camera at a minimum? I'm not saying that you can't do the interview. Unlike internet speed, it's not going to make or break. But if you do know that they have a higher quality video camera and mic, it is going to be a better interview. The mic is the tricky point here. If they are going to just use their onboard mic, that's going to give you some problems that I would be very cautious of. I would recommend to them to get a USB mic at a bare minimum. If they're just going to use their onboard camera, that's one thing, but the mic is gonna cause you problems. So make sure you check with them on that. Make sure that they're wearing headphones during your interview to avoid any feedback loops. So when they don't wear headphones, what can happen is that you're listening to them on your speakers, right? Or they're listening to you on their speakers. And if either of you are not wearing headphones, then that audio from the speaker, like your audio going into their speakers, and then it feeds back into the mic, and then that can cause echo. And a looping. Yeah, you guys saw Abby hanging out over there. So those are things that are very important to think about. Lighting as well. Just give them a few tips. Like if you do not have lighting, then make sure you're facing a window. Don't put the window behind you. These are tips that you can offer your guests before you ever get on the interview, so that they are getting prepared to have a better experience with you, right? So that is something that is something that is very, very important to talk through on your interviews. A lot of people fear the fact that, like, if you ask too much or if you give too much information, it's gonna drain them or it's going to annoy them or anything like that. Guess what? It's really not. You are responsible for your interviews. And if that guest comes on your show and then they have echo, you can't even see them because the window is behind them and all of that stuff, it's not going to look good on them. So you're protecting them from putting a bad image out there, right? So think about it that way. If you're like, oh, I don't want to talk. I don't want to like give them too much. I don't want to annoy them. Provide them with a checklist. And again, if you are in the Streamer Accelerator program, you are going to be getting a checklist for this so that you guys can easily send that off to your guests. So that's a benefit of being a member around here. That also test. So we're still in the before stage. I want you to test with them. And I tend to do this just like I have them come on 30 minutes in advance. But if you're just starting out with live streaming and you're not yet really good with the tech, then I would do this a day before at least. Probably a day to two before is a good amount of time to fix any problems. But also, if your guests aren't good with the tech, that might be something that you want to do ahead of time, right? So when I interview guests, I'm interviewing people who tend to be better with the tech because that's our world. But, and so for me, 30 minutes in advance, I can handle that. I can handle that because I know how to fix problems with 1 minute to spare, 30 seconds to spare. So I have that experience, right? So the more time you give yourself to fix problems, the better off you will be. Also, set up any graphics ahead of time. Do not do this while your guest is on and ready to go live. So what I mean by that is if you're going to do these type of graphics, right? If you're going to bring on a guest, Callie, you're coming on. So if you're going to bring on a guest, you want to set up any graphics you might want ahead of time. So don't wait until the very last minute to do all of this, right? So the software, let's talk about the software as they come in. So I'm gonna show you what I mean by this stuff with ECAMM, but I'm not gonna go into too much detail. We have another video where we're covering all of that, so I'd highly recommend watching that. And again, this is ECAMM, but it's all general practices today. So whatever software you're using, make sure that you just adapt that to that software that you're using. So once your guest comes on, then what you want to do is make sure that you are looking at audio levels. So Callie is joined as a guest. Now she has muted herself, and that's because we're in the same room, so we're going to have to stay muted today. But when she is unmuted, you're going to actually see this little bar on whatever software it is. I want you to adjust that audio level, and you can adjust it here as well with your interview system so that you sound about the same. So you want to just make sure that you're level with each other. And if the guest is not giving or is lower than you, then have them adjusted on their end if at all possible first before you adjust. So let's say they're coming in really low. Ask them what mic they're using. You probably know this by now, but see if they have a volume control that they can increase their level, and then you increase your levels. That'll be better for your setup. Also, framing. Okay, this is a big one. Okay, so I'm gonna bring Callie back in here. And this is actually really a big issue with interviews. Oftentimes people come in looking like this. The up the nose shot. It's really not good framing. They don't look good, right? And so it's kind of like an up. It's not a pretty shot for Callie. Callie's gorgeous. We want to make her the best presented. We want to present her in the best light possible, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the guest and ask them to make some adjustments. So Callie, can you maybe prop your camera up on maybe your laptop, or do you have some books around that you can maybe make some adjustments there? and get that more eye level. So that's what you're asking your audience, your guests to do, is get eye level with their camera, or as much as possible. Okay, so that is better. So let's see what her real shot looks like, her main shot like that. Okay, so that's looking good. So now what we want to do is in this pip, well, unfortunately, she's actually not, her head is cut off, right? See how my head is just at the top of the frame? We don't want too much headroom. We want it to look kind of similar as us, right? As me. So I'm kind of the base. And so what we want to do here is get her, there we go. Whoa. We want to kind of adjust things. Now, say, Callie, there's a lot of clutter in your background. Maybe you could shift it. I see there's a door behind you and a wall. Like maybe let's look at it. Oh, a pretty plant. That looks nice. Let's make some adjustments there. Awesome. See, that's a prettier shot, a prettier background. We've got that cable in the background, but it doesn't have to be perfect, right? There you go. She can hide that just by positioning herself if we want. But you want to make sure that the framing is as close to your framing as possible. Oh, crap. I thought, hold on. Paul says, if you're super picky, make sure the font size matches. I don't know oh, I'm sorry. I did actually screw that one up. Oops. Make sure that you readjust the sizing. That is bad on me. I am sorry about that. So you want to adjust sizing. You want everything to look symmetrical, right? And so we still have too much. There we go. So we want Callie headroom. So we just want to play around with it. Make it look as close to your framing as possible. Okay, so next up is the, oh yeah, and I just want to remind you, if you do want to learn more about making interviews awesome through ECAMM specifically, that video is happening tomorrow, live stream, but if you're watching the replay of this, that link is in the description. Okay, so, oh no, we didn't actually get the super chat, $5 super chat from Geeks Life towards a webcam for Callie. This was a last minute setup, so yeah. There we go. Okay, so next up is training your guest. Again, this is happening before you ever go live. Now, when this piece is happening once they are on, just like all of the stuff that we were showing you before with framing and everything. You can't do any of that until they are on. So have them show up 30 minutes in advance so that you can go through all of these different things. And then train them. You want to make sure that you talk to them ahead of time and say, hey, Callie, just to make sure when you're on camera, use your peripheral vision to look at me, but primarily if you can look at the lens, that would be fantastic. That way you're talking to the audience. So show us what it looks like when you're looking at the camera. Well, that's what you're looking at the camera. And then show us what it looks like when you're looking at the feed that I'm looking at, the computer screen. So talk to your guests. Make sure they understand that it doesn't look the best for them. So if you can encourage them to look at the camera, not in a scary way, to look at the camera, and that will benefit the interview a little bit better, right? And by the way, this is the fact of life, right? We have guests that will come on that don't look as good as you. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to showcase this with a webcam, is that it's not the perfect video, right? But we do want to know how to deal with non-perfect video, because not everybody has taken our course yet, unfortunately. Or you can send them our way beforehand if you want. So also, another thing to make sure your guest is aware of, putting you back on, Callie, is not to move around or adjust. So once you have this set up, what you want to do, oftentimes what somebody will do is actually move their camera. If they're using a laptop, they'll move it around while you're setting up. But once you have have this, yes, once you have this set, tell them do not touch your computer, do not touch your camera. We want to keep it looking exactly like that. After it's set, it's finalized. So make sure that they're not like, a lot of times guests will like sit up for the prep and then they'll like hang back. They'll just like kind of like go back like that and just like lounge while they're talking. So you want to encourage them to stay in that position if at all possible. And then also make sure your guest knows to have fun, have a conversation. A lot of guests, if they're not used to being a guest, are kind of freaked out. They're kind of freaked out through the process. And so there's an interview happening and it feels like they have to be professional and it feels like they have to be, proper and all of these different things. Encourage a conversation and just a natural, conversation with them and remind them to have fun before you go live. That way they have the right tone, the right mindset for your show. Unless you're not a fun show, unless you don't want to have fun with your audience, but I encourage it. So those are the best practices. If you are in the Streamer Accelerator program, which you can get by going to this link, livestreamingpros.com/studio. And then you have the option of joining the Streamer Accelerator program, which gives you coaching and extras like interview best practices checklists to send your audience and all of that fun stuff. You can get in there and start taking advantage of those extras and also make sure that your video is looking spectacular. And yeah, so if you are watching the replay, I appreciate you. We're going to go into Q&A now for the live streams. But if you're watching the replay, I would highly encourage you to show up to our live streams because then you get to ask questions. Then we get to have a conversation and we get to have fun, just like I was talking about. I will see you in the next video.